Welcome friends to a review on the 2025 Mazda CX-70 plug-in hybrid. I've already checked out every powertrain option regarding the CX-70 and the CX-90. I've tested the entry-level inline-6 along with the more powerful Turbo S, and I've also driven the plug-in hybrid for both the CX-70 and the CX-90. Let's just get right into my driving thoughts here. Okay, regarding the powertrain output and even the driving qualities, the CX-70 and the CX-90, they are identical. Only difference is the CX-90, it comes with the third row seats. The CX-70, it does not. This hybrid, it's putting out 323 horsepower and 369 pounds-feet of torque. Mazda does recommend using premium fuel with these hybrid models. In fact, Mazda didn't even provide us with numbers if you do utilize regular fuel. So take that information, do what you will with it. And these hybrids, they are rocking the 4-cylinder engine, made it to the electric motors. When Car and Driver did a 0 to 60 run with these vehicles, they've noticed that the CX-70, it's a 1/10 of a second quicker than the CX-90s, okay? And with these plug-in hybrids, they got a 0 to 60 time of 5.9 seconds. And when they did a test on the Turbo S CX-70 with 340 horsepower and 369 pounds-feet of torque, they got a 0 to 60 time of 6.2 seconds at a 1/10 of a second for the CX-90s. With the entry-level inline-6, I think Motor Trend got like a 0 to 60 time of a little over 7 seconds. So technically, on paper, the hybrid is the quickest, but I'll get to that in a moment. There's more to these vehicles than just the on-paper specs. Now, regarding fuel economy, okay, Mazda claims that these plug-in hybrids, they get a combined fuel economy number of 25 mpgs, which is exactly the same as the inline-6 models, except the difference is this will actually achieve the city fuel economy numbers. Out on the highway, all of these engine options can certainly get 27 to 28 mpg out on the highway, which is super impressive, and that is a realistic number that you can expect from these products. But in the city, they claim that the inline-6 models can do like 23, 24 mpg. Yeah, that's not happening. You're going to be most likely getting around 18 mpg in the city with the inline-6 models. Here with this plug-in hybrid, you can actually get somewhere around 23, 24 in the city. But most importantly, because this is the plug-in hybrid, Mazda claims you can get 26 miles of pure EV range. But when I charge these vehicles up to the max, I'm able to get around 28 to even 30 miles of pure EV driving. So I'm glad that this is outperforming Mazda's own estimates. But at the same time, it would have been cool if this can achieve somewhere closer to 40 miles of pure EV range, similar to the RAV4 plug-in hybrids. But oh well, getting near 30 miles of pure EV range is still very good. Okay, now that we have all of the important specs out of the way, how does this vehicle perform in the real world? Well, I gotta say, this is much improved compared to the CX-90 plug-in hybrid that I received to test. The CX-90, it was a 2024 model year, and I have to admit, it truly was not that great. I mean, I just noticed so much inconsistencies in the way the CX-90 plug-in hybrid performed. It just felt sluggish, lethargic, the handling was off. Here with this 2025 CX-70 plug-in hybrid, a lot of driving attributes have been cleaned up here. Handling is much better, much smoother, taking your everyday corners. This feels much more composed. Braking performance is good. Okay, these weigh about 5,000 to almost 5,100 pounds. The inline-6 models around 4,700, 4,800 pounds. Mazda is using genuinely incredible suspension technology here. We have like double wishbones in the front. We got the multi-link in the rear. The CX-70, CX-90 twins, they are all rear-wheel drive based, but they all come with all-wheel drive as standard. With the plug-in hybrids, you're going to notice that they ride a bit stiffer because due to the additional weight, Mazda has had to stiffen these vehicles up to make them handle appropriately. But even despite that, I don't think that these vehicles are totally uncomfortable. We of course have here the 21-inch wheels. The CX-70 plug-in hybrid, it's only available in 2 trim levels, the Premium and the Premium Plus. And there's about a $3,000 delta between the two models. And both are going to be rocking the 21s, but regardless of that, ride is not terrible. Now, regarding the engine performance, well, that's where things get interesting. So you saw that on paper, these are technically the quickest accelerating CX-70/CX-90s, these plug-in hybrid models, but that's really only when you're driving in the sport mode. And here the modes genuinely do make a big difference. You also have the off-road, the pure EV mode, and the normal mode. Around town, I do like to drive around in normal the most, because even though sport mode gives you all of the thrust and genuinely makes us feel like a quick vehicle, it's just too jumpy, too aggressive. It's just not refined for everyday driving, so I tend to not use the sport mode. So yes, speed is technically there, but driving around in the normal mode, you're going to get a more lethargic experience compared to the inline sixes. And another thing to mention, when you're driving this in the pure EV mode, oh my gosh, this thing feels so slow. When you're just tooling around town, it's not a big deal, but when you need to quickly bust a maneuver or you need that acceleration thrust for whatever reason, when you're in the EV mode, it doesn't really give you that. I mean, in the pure battery mode, it just feels like you're driving around in like a Nissan Versa. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. But in normal mode, you have enough thrust for around town driving. Now, I will say the engine, it's a bit loud, but that's also the case with the inline six. Although I don't hate it, because I do like the tone of these engines. I do think that all of these engines have character, so well done there. None of these Mazdas feel like soulless, generic appliances to drive. So big points there. Absolutely love that. Now, regarding refinement, I'm getting a bit more road noise and tire noise than what I would like. We have here some Falcon tires. Perhaps if they utilize like a Continental touring tire, this could be a bit quieter still. We do have here rather thick double pane glass being used up front here, so you pretty much get no wind noise or whistling effect. That's great. And overall, these vehicles, they continue to provide me with pretty much the best high-speed stability amongst its class. These products, they remain rock solid at high speeds. Super impressive. Love the confidence that you get behind the wheel here. The steering, that's also on point, very direct. Now, something I've noticed regarding these plug-in hybrids is they continue to give me some random noises that are not very flattering, both under hard acceleration or even under hard turning. I mean, it's hard to replicate, but you get like these electronic grinding noises. I mean, it's very random how it happens, but trust me, it does. And it's so bizarre. It's these random kind of issues that make me not really recommend the plug-in hybrid version. It just feels more glitchy to me compared to the inline six, which just feels a lot more ironed out and polished. In fact, the most polished CX-70/CX-90 driving experience I've ever had is with the entry-level inline six in its Premium Plus trim level. That was the smoothest, best riding, least glitchiest version of these products that I've ever had to test. The Turbo S is genuinely a quicker feeling product than the regular inline six, but I still wouldn't get it. That's just not something I would pay up for. Just getting like a Premium Plus, fully decked out entry-level inline six, I think that's where it's at. There's a lot of variations in how these Mazda vehicles drive, these CX-70s and CX-90s. I've noticed, similar to Lexus, the higher you go up in trim level, the better the driving experience that you get. Again, all of these vehicles that you're considering, take them out for a thorough test drive. Ideally around roads that you are familiar with, but if you can't do that, just have the salesperson that you're working with take you over some, various bumps and terrains. But what's the key takeaway here? I mean, it does seem like Mazda is trying to improve these products. This is obviously way better than the CX-90 plug-in hybrid that I got to test. And there were some subtle recalls, and then there were some software updates that were available with these vehicles. And it seems like all of those updates have improved this vehicle. For instance, on that entry-level inline six, once Mazda started to do some of their software updates and they cleaned up some of the recalls, I've noticed that the mild hybrid system began to react much better. I felt even the transmission performance was a bit less jerky at the slower speed, so well done there regarding improving the products. Here with this plug-in hybrid, occasionally this vehicle can get a bit confused and it can kind of give you a bit jerky starts at lower speed, so that's still a bit annoying. But again, Mazda seems to be improving over time. I've noticed that a lot of the Mazda dealerships, they're offering us a bit more of a premium experience, almost like a luxury car experience. Not all the Mazda dealerships, but a lot of them are, so that's great to see as well. And finally, these new CX-70s and CX-90s, they are genuinely one of the safest new SUVs that you can buy for your family. They are definitely an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. And although this plug-in hybrid, it's not perfect, I would still consider it if you buy this the right way, and I'll save that for the conclusion segment. For right now, let's get into my interior thoughts now. Okay, let's quickly cover this interior space because it's pretty much identical to the other CX-70s and CX-90s that I've already reviewed. So, as mentioned before, we have two trim levels here, the Premium and the Premium Plus for these plug-in hybrid CX-70s. This is the Premium Plus, and with that you of course get a lot more desirable features, but keep in mind the Premium Plus, it's about a $3,000 increase over the entry-level Premium. In the entry-level Premium, it already comes with heated front seats and the Bose audio system, which is genuinely one of the best audio systems that you can get in the class. I mean, it just makes all of the different music genres sound good. This is a powerful system as well. You can genuinely feel the music inside of your body when you crank up the volume, so that's great. But when you do crank up that volume, you don't get any ridiculous distortion. So well done there. Love this Bose audio system. I'm glad that it comes standard with the entry-level Premium. But Mazda is still going to entice you with that Premium Plus because it's when you get that model where you get the Nappa leather seats that are both heated and ventilated in the front, you get the heated seats in the back, you get the 360 camera, and you get the power folding side mirrors as well with the Premium Plus. Plus a lot more other features. You can see more details on Mazda's own website, but those are the main highlights here with the Premium Plus. Once again, the model and the trim level that you should go with, it really depends on how you end up purchasing this vehicle. Okay, but the pros here, well, the solidity of this cabin, it's top tier, and I love the design as well, especially with the separate climate control with the physical buttons and switches. Mazda does it the best. So elegantly implemented. I also do like their infotainment screen as well. It's non-distracting, it's easy to use with this rotary dial. You get the wireless Apple CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto. That works seamlessly. We also do have a wireless charging pad here as well. You get the useful safety tech features as standard, like the blind spot monitoring, the rear cross traffic alert. Got the one-touch up and down windows for all four windows. We got the full digital gauge cluster. That looks great. I would say that overall these Mazda seats are pretty comfortable. Not awe-inspiring by any means, but pretty good. I would say the most comfortable Mazda seats would belong to the CX-90 for whatever reason. They just felt a bit more plush. I have no idea why that is, but these are okay. The main cons with this interior, I mean, we kind of already know at this point, it's the limited amount of cubby spaces, like with the armrest, average sized cup holders. It's just not the best use of space, but oh well, it is what it is. We do get a massive pano sunroof here, and the rear seats, they offer lavish amounts of space. For adults, I am 5'11". It's super easy for me to get in and out of this SUV. I'm able to really stretch out back there. You have your own climate control back there, along with some USB-C ports. You got the manual sunshades. I mean, it's decent back there for sure, because after all, this is based on the 3-row CX-90, right? And with all of the 3-row SUVs, the second row seating comfort is top tier. I have plenty of space to sit in the second row. And obviously, because this is the CX-70, we don't get the third row, which is not a big deal to me because the third row in the CX-90, it wasn't that great to begin with. The CX-90 and the Nissan Pathfinder had pretty much the tightest third row seats in my testing. The most opulent third rows belong to the Toyota Grand Highlander, the Honda Pilot, the Ford Explorer, the Telluride Palisade Twins. And a lot of people are wondering, you know, like, what's the point of the CX-70 because it's just the CX-90 without the third row? I mean, some people, they just enjoy being in a larger vehicle. They just enjoy that feeling of driving around in something bigger. And knowing that this is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, this is one of the safest vehicles you can drive around in. It just gives people security. I already mentioned the confidence that you get at really high speeds. People just enjoy driving around in a more substantial product. So I definitely get it from that point, but you know, this was just such a great opportunity for Mazda to provide us with a really stylish SUV, similar to the Volkswagen Atlas Cross, whatever it's called. It basically looks like a Porsche Cayenne coupe / Mercedes GLE coupe. It's just such a cool design. I really appreciate that. This was Mazda's opportunity to give us something really cool looking, but I get it from a manufacturing standpoint. It's obviously easier for them to just ditch the third row of the CX-90, but this is such an elegant and even an exotic design within the segment. If they just gave us a more stylish coupe-like appearance in the back, this would have been, just top tier design, but oh well, it is what it is. The trunk space, as you would expect, is massive, and that's another reason why people are going to enjoy this, because you get a much larger trunk compared to, smaller SUVs, right? Like even in Mazda's own lineup, the CX-5s and the CX-50s, cargo capacity here, it's incredible. And with that established, let's go ahead and let's conclude this review. Concluding thoughts on the 2025 Mazda CX-70 plug-in hybrid. Well, I appreciate how this is much improved compared to the 2024 CX-90 plug-in hybrid that I got, so that's a good thing. But if you want the cleanest driving experience, I continue to recommend the inline-6 models. The interior space, I continue to love that. The interior, it's solid. I love the design. Everything is logically laid out. So top tier interior space. Also, if you go with that Bose audio system, genuinely one of the best audio systems that you're going to get within this type of class. But should you buy this for you and your family? Well, I kind of alluded to this throughout the review, but it really depends on how you decide to purchase these products. So it depends on if you're going to be paying cash, if you're financing, or if you're leasing. If you're someone who's leasing, then the plug-in hybrid can make a lot of sense, because as of right now, April of 2025, as I'm recording this video, there is a $7,500 lease cash, which you can get with the plug-in hybrid CX-70s and CX-90s. That means the payments are going to be really affordable on the plug-in hybrids. Plus, as we just saw, although Mazda claims that the CX-70 plug-in hybrid can do about 26 miles of pure EV range, I'm kind of exceeding that. I'm getting closer to 28-30 miles of pure EV range. And also, even the regular inline-6 models, they lease out pretty good too. More on that in a moment, but no matter how you decide to buy these Mazda vehicles, I like how Mazda offers us a lot of flexibility. Like paying cash is cool. Financing, they actually have really good incentivized finance programs, unlike some of its competitors, so that's huge. And the lease programs are genuinely good as well. And to further help you out, I would like to share with you a resource called AutoCompanion. AutoCompanion is one of the largest car brokers in the United States, and he has some discounts on new Mazdas. So if you want to check that out, I will have a link to AutoCompanion's website in the description box below. He is primarily located in the Washington, D.C. area, but he is able to ship nationwide. Shipping is something you have to pay extra for. He does charge a broker fee for accessing his deals. He did say that if you go on his website and if you fill out an inquiry form and you mention my channel, Meyn Motor Group, he did say that he'll take some money off of that broker fee, and I really appreciate him doing that for my audience, because these are genuinely some of the best prices in the country. Plus, there's no additional games that you have to play when you buy a vehicle through AutoCompanion's service. There's no ridiculous tint fees, nitrogen fees, or overinflated dealer fees either. So that's a huge resource. Also, towards the bottom of AutoCompanion's website, there is a free leasing calculator that you can use to run your own numbers. That calculator will show you the interest rate of a lease, the residual values, and the incentives that you can get in your local zip code. So if you found value with this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.